Let's talk about interior car care. When it comes to cheap versus expensive, does it really make any difference? Well, let's find out today because I have some very cheap products. I have some moderately priced products and I have a very expensive product from BMW, and I also have another expensive product which I've dropped. So let's get into today's video and find out whether or not your hard-earned money is actually worth spending, or is it actually all the same stuff? So first up, let's talk about our first contestant, the Armor All Matte Finish. Armor All, in my opinion, isn't the greatest. I used to love this stuff when I was 16 and working on my first car, but always found that the Armor All was quite a greasy finish. However, we're dealing with the matte finish today, so I'm excited to try them out. My girlfriend does use them on her car and she seems to like them, but I think she likes more of it due to the convenience that you're just simply pulling one out and you are ready to go, rather than using a rag and stuff. So at about $14.99, pretty cheap, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that pulls up because I don't think it will do very well. The next is the Bowden's Vinyl Care. Now, I originally bought this for my Z3. Liked it initially, but found that it didn't really clean that well. I'd spray it on and, it'd get rid of the real light stuff, but never really much of the heavy stuff. So we'll see how it goes in the G87, but I believe this was about $28 a bottle. Next up is probably my personal favorite, the Chemical Guys Interior. This is a relatively new product to me that I've been using quite a lot on the BMW Z3. Found that it cleans probably one of the best. It cleans really well, but more importantly, it has quite a matte finish to it, which whether you like matte or glossy is going to be totally up to your preference, but found that it does perform quite well. It's about $30 to $33 a bottle, and it does seem to get used very quickly. I know that sounds funny, but the good stuff with this is they do recommend using it on dashboard, glass, leather vinyl, and a navigation screen. So it has quite a few purposes, and because it doesn't have that real glossy finish, using it on screens and stuff tends to work pretty well. Up next is one of the products that I'm probably most excited to share, and that is the cockpit cleaner from BMW. I've had this bottle for quite some time, and although it is quite a small bottle at 250 ml, they do tend to charge quite a lot for this bottle, upwards of 65 Australian dollars. Now, I know I didn't pay that. I'm pretty sure it was around the $40 mark direct from BMW, but have seen it online for about 65, so it's not the cheapest stuff. So when you're comparing this against products that are $15 and $28 and $30, is it really worth spending 60 odd dollars for an interior cleaner? Well, let's find out today. Let's get straight into it. So for this part, I thought I would divvy the door up into a few different sections so that we can see the finish on the door trim after we've finished with each product. So first up is the Chemical Brothers. Now, it's important to note with this Chemical Brothers, when you are spraying it, it's very hard to have a direct or a control spray. So I found out the hard way, when you do spray it, you have to be really close or spray it onto the rag. Otherwise, this stuff, it sprays absolutely freaking everywhere. Now, the good thing with this Chemical Brothers, as you I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it does clean really, really well, and it has quite a matte finish to it. Didn't have any real issues with the greasiness. Next up is the Bowden's Vinyl Care. Now, this product claims to be 100% silicone free, which is awesome, but again, it is on the cheaper side. It's it's something that I was using for quite a long time until I found other products. I found out that it is quite easy to spray. You don't sort of get a lot of overspray and stuff. And look, quite honestly, it's not a bad product, but if you can look really closely, you'll see like a little white speck that I'm trying to rub off there, and whatever I do, it just won't come off. And interesting to note that I actually did get that off with the other interior cleaner after this video. So yeah, it didn't perform with the cleaning too well. Next up is the BMW product. Now, obviously being the most expensive product, well, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is the best, but you can see like with the spray pattern, it is really direct, and you have to use quite a lot of this stuff to feel like it's actually doing anything. But if you've used it before, you'll know how good it smells. You can see a bit of soapy residue that it's leaving there, but even right now in the video, you can see that it is quite glossy compared to the Bowdens to the left, and especially to the first product that we use. You can see that bit of shine coming through, which isn't a bad thing. If you like that shine, it is the product to use. Next up is the matte finish protectant. Now, the best thing about this is obviously the convenience, but with the convenience as well, you tend to find that it dries up quite quickly if you don't store it in, a damp, cool place. So sometimes you'll see here that I'm pulling out a few before I get to them because they're just so dry, almost unusable, leaving a really soapy residue initially from this, and you can see that it is quite shiny. Very comparable to the BMW product previously, but once it dries, it does dry quite matte-like as well. But you can see the streak marks. I had to come over with the rag and really sort of clean it up because I just wasn't happy with the amount it was leaving. Obviously, you don't have that control over it like the sprays. You get what you get in the rag itself. If it's very wet, you do tend to get a very wet application. Now, in summing up, I think they all have their own advantages. So the BMW, as I sort of said, quite glossy, has pretty good cleaning capabilities, but I probably wouldn't be using it on my instrument clusters and stuff like that because it is just a little bit too greasy, but the smell is fantastic. But again, it is expensive. The Bowdens Vinyl Care, well, yeah, I don't think I would really be using that on a car that I cared about. I'm not the biggest fan of it. And the Armor All wipes, well, look, they definitely have their place. And I think, for a quick wipe down, they're fantastic. Or if you maybe have them in the car ready to go. But if I had to do a full interior detail, I don't think I would be using these. And then at the end of it all, I think this is probably the most well-rounded product, the Chemical Brothers Total Interior Cleaner. I'd be happy using this on my gloss black. I'd be happy using it on my screen as well as my interior trim. Not only does it clean exceptionally well, it's reasonably priced. So roughly, the $30-odd mark, you're getting 473 mil rather than with the BMW 250 mil. So it's going to go a lot further. But you can pretty much just spray this on anything and be happy that it's not going to cause any sort of damage or be too greasy. And whatever you do spray it on, it's actually going to clean. So I think at the end of the day, if I had to choose one, to have all the time, it's definitely going to be out of the BMW one and this one. This one cleans better, this one smells better. But at the end of the day, for the price and how it performs, I don't think you're going to be disappointed with this Chemical Brothers. If you do try it out, let me know how you went with it. I'd be excited to hear what you think of it if you did try it after seeing this video, or if you have tried the BMW one and you think that one's better. But I think we can definitely rule out the cleaning wipes from Armor All and the Bowdens. I've used a lot of other ones, and I think this is the one to buy. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. We will see you in the very next video. Peace.